Hello lecture. My name is Simple. I'm from group number 7. This is my presentation. I'm going to present about the question you gave us present. My question is from number 1 to number 2, and the others will be presented by my colleagues from my group. My first question was about to describe the inheritance in Python. So B was Python inheritance syntax, and number C types of inheritance in Python. And the D, the Python inheritance function. And number 2 is function override method. From number 1, I'm going to explain the inheritance. In Python, inheritance is the fundamental concept in object-oriented programming, that is OOP in short words, that allows a new class or subclass to inherit or to use the attributes and methods from the existing class. That existing class will be called the parent class or superclass. That's it, and I'm going to do some example about inheritance. And that is it. From here we have the class called the animal, and it have these properties. And for here we declared the other class which is called the dog. That dog, we use it as subclass. The parent class will be animal. That is what we call inheritance. That that second class or subclass will use the properties and the object from the parent class. Or that parent class here is the animal. Yes, and this is the output which will output this output, the generic animal sound wolf. Yes, that is inheritance, what we call inheritance. Here is the Python inheritance syntax. The Python inheritance syntax will, will include the keyword class, and you put the name of that subclass, and in parentheses you put the parent class, the class which will be inherited by that subclass. Here we saw an example of inheritance. Here it is that this is the syntax, but this is the example of that syntax. And from the sub-question, we have the types of inheritance. Inheritance are the 5 basic types. Which one is the first one is single inheritance, the second one is multiple inheritance, the third one is multi-level inheritance, and the fourth hierarchical inheritance, and the fifth one is, and the last one is hybrid inheritance. We are going to describe it from number 1 to the last, and I will give you the examples for each type. So the single inheritance. In single inheritance, a subclass inherits from only one superclass. This is the most common type of inheritance. For here, in a single inheritance, the subclass inherits from one class, from only one class, and this is the common type of inheritance. It is commonly used. Here it is an example. The example, this is an example. Single inheritance. Class will be animal, and the animal will, this class animal will have this object and the properties. And here from this subclass, we have only one parent class. That's we call, this is what we call single inheritance, because the subclass inherits from only one parent class. That is the first one. And the second one, The second one is multiple inheritance. In multiple inheritance, the multiple inheritance allows the subclass to inherit from more than one superclass. This can be achieved by listing all the parent classes in the subclass definition separated by commas. For here, then in multiple inheritance, the subclass inherits object and properties from more than one parent class. It means it uses the object and the properties from more than one parent class. It means we have more than one parent class in multiple inheritance. Here it is some example. This here in multiple, we call the class which is called the mammal, and it has the following properties. And the second class we call aquatic animal. And this here we have the subclass which is called the dolphin. Dolphin, it inherits from two parent classes, which the first class was mammal and aquatic. From those classes, this subclass inherits from both of them. That's we call multiple. That's we call multiple inheritance. And the third, the inheritance type is multi-level. In multi-level inheritance, the subclass inherits from a superclass, and then the another subclass inherits from that subclass, forming a chain of inheritance. In here, it means you have many two or many subclasses, and it means one subclass inherits from one parent class, and there is another subclass from that subclass, which inherits the object and the properties from that subclass. Here it is an example. Multi-level. It means here we have the class called the vehicle, and here we have the subclass which is called the car, and the it is subclass from that inherited from that parent class which is called the vehicle. And there is another subclass which inherits properties and objects from that subclass which is called the car. You see here it inherits from that subclass. That is, it has the output which is the charging the battery. We are going to the fourth fourth type, hierarchical inheritance. In hierarchical inheritance, multiple classes subclasses inherit from single superclasses. This creates hierarchical where superclass inherited by multiple subclasses. By here we have only one parent class, and from here we have many subclasses, and that all subclasses will inherit from that one superclass. And here we have an example from hierarchical. We have this parent class or superclass, and we have this subclass. This subclass is inherits property from this class, and this subclass inherits from this class. It means we have one, two, the two subclasses that inherits from one parent class. That is what we call hierarchical. There is another one which is hybrid inheritance. In hybrid inheritance is a combination of two or more types of inheritance. For example, it could be a mix of single, multiple, multi-level, or hierarchical. This means in this we have the combination of two or more types of inheritance in one single code page. Hello again, lecture. It was a problem where the the software I used it have a minimum of the maximum minute is 10 and I used it. But it remains some few minutes. I'm going to do it in this minute. There is the other question I'm going to do is the Python inheritance super function. Super function in Python. Super function is used to call methods and access attributes from the superclass within subclass. It provides a way to invoke methods and access attributes of the class as the superclass without explicitly naming the superclass. This is particularly useful when dealing with inheritance and overriding methods. I'm going to give you the example about overriding. This is example. The function which is called the super function will be used to call the will be used to call the properties from the first class but in the subclass. This is where we used the super function. The super function is here. Is in subclass. We used it to call that 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 property from the parent class. And I'm going to do the question number 2, which is called the Python override method. In Python, method overriding occurs when a subclass provides a specific implementation of method that is already defined in the subclass. This allows the subclass to customize or extend the behavior of the method without modifying the superclass implementation directly. And here it is the example of that function Python override method. That is it. But here I don't understand much. Maybe after the presentation will explain to us. It is somehow tough. Okay, thank you. That was my presentation. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, here I'm going to present my question. My name is Irakoze Nchizirungu Eve. First of all, I'm going to discuss about polymorphism. What is a polymorphism? A polymorphism in Python. Polymorphism with object and function. Polymorphism is in fact a way of saying many forms in object-oriented programming. It is a powerful concept that lets you write code that can work with objects of different types. Example, you see here there is an example of polymorphism with creating object, calling speak function with a different object like this way. In example, for example, class animal function def making sound self print generic animal sound like this, like class dog animal def function sound, and also so on. Let's go on question for discuss encapsulation. Encapsulation in Python. Encapsulation is a fundamental concept in object programming, OOP. That means that attribute and method function that operate on that data together with a single unit called class is about bundling data and the function around the data. Let's see the why encapsulation. Encapsulation offers several advantages. There is a data protection. It prevents accident or unauthorized modification of an object internal data. By controlling access to data, you can ensure its integrity and consistency. Moderating. Encapsulation classes promoted modularity, making your code more organized, easier to maintain. You can group related functionalities with a class, improving code readability and reusability. Other ones, information hiding. Encapsulation allows you to hide the internal implementation detail of class and expose only well-defined the interface method for interacting with the object. This promotes loose coupling, meaning change with the class having minimal impact on other part of your code that use it. like this example of encapsulation. Encapsulation, here you see Python cross bank account function def int self balance constructor with private attribute self balance double underscore for private attribute def get balance public method to access private balance return self balance def deposit parameter like self amount public method to modify balance self balance plus equal amount def withdraw self amount public method to modify balance with validation. If amount were busy in this condition, there is if condition and else. Let's see on here. That's my point on the encapsulation and the polymorphism. Here, like polymorphism, I would like to say there is some codes I would like to run on VS Code. Let's see on that ones.
I'm Jacques de Munziza. I'm going to present my work I have given yesterday. So my question, I'm from GROUP7. My question is number 5, number 6, and number 7. Number 5 could discuss about the setter and the getter method. So let us start. In Python, the getter and the setter are the method used to control access to and modification of a class attribute. While Python does not have a forced access modifier like a private in other language, getter and the setter provide a way to achieve similar functionality. Getter method is a method that retrieves the value of a specific attribute within a class. It typically does not take any argument and return the value of desired attribute. By using the getter method, you can control how the attribute value is accessed and potentially apply any formatting or logic before returning. While the setter method is a method that allows you to modify the value of a specific attribute within a class. It usually takes argumented, which represents the new value to the assigned to the attribute. Within the setter, you can implement validation logic to ensure the assigned value meets the certain criteria before updating the attribute. Using the property decorator, we use the property decorator in order to access setter and the getter in a Python. So let I show you how it works. As you see here, we have that code. We run it and you see the output. No. The class called person have a function in it. It have a 3 arguments: self, name, and age. Self.name and self.age. As you see here, these are that property decorator to get the name. This is how the getter works, and this is name how the setter works. Let me run it and see the output. So it's runs properly, but there is no output here because the function returns first when there is not meet a certain criteria or they meet the condition. So let me continue. So question number 5 have finished to discuss on it. Let's continue by question number 6. So number 6 discuss about class in Python. Class in Python is a blueprint for creating an object. It defines the property or attribute and the functionalities or method that object of that class will be processed. Class promote code reusability and organized by encapsulating data and behavior within a single unit. Creating a class. How the class created. The class keyword is used to define a class in Python. Here is a basic in a Python. Class, that is a keyword called the class. This is a class name called my class. So this is how the class created. Example, in Python, class called the car function, init, mode, and color. This is special method called the constructor, and another how you print the output from the class. Print hello I am the here is this it take the value that you type in the class in the object creation. So when you run this code, it works properly. Let you see how this code runs. As I told you, we have a class called the car, we have a function called the init, it include the argument called the model and the car. So this is the special method called the constructor, self.name, .model, equal model, self.color, equal color, and another the function called the greet that we print hello I am. This it represents the color of that car and the model of that car. So creation of object or STS of the car. This is creation object name my car dot class name as called the car. Then you can put the model, the color of that car, and the model of that car. As you see, model is Tesla model,